Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50 and Pink Floyd with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rain today with a high of 40. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Lindsey Buckingham, guitarist for Fleetwood Mac, was reportedly attacked by a known stalker in Los Angeles. The incident, currently under investigation, involved the use of an unknown substance. Despite a restraining order against the assailant, the attack raises concerns about the effectiveness of such measures. Buckingham's iconic career with Fleetwood Mac and his tumultuous relationship with Stevie Nicks add complexity to the situation. How is that heading?
Well, I don't know. Maybe some people are upset.
Maybe. Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward as the investigation continues.
Now, isn't this secondhand news?
Yes, I see what you did there. You took a Fleetwood Mac song and you turned it into a pun on the very story that we are doing. And it's right, because it's secondhand news. We're getting a secondhand version of this.
Well, I that was completely unintentional. Just,
you did a good job.
With the world turning the way it is, it's just, what can I say? What was the substance, by the way?
That's it says unknown substance. Probably could be acid, could be
mayonnaise.
Could be any number of things. Yeah, mayonnaise. I don't know, Hellman's, or what do they call it west of the Rockies? Isn't it something else?
Best Foods.
Best Foods. There you go. So maybe.
I mean, I can't think of slinging mayonnaise on any member of Fleetwood Mac.
She hit me with Hellman's. You mean she was from the East Coast?
Clearly.
Yeah.
So now you've eliminated half the country.
Eugene Merman, known for his work on Bob's Burgers, was hospitalized after a fiery car crash in New Hampshire. His specific injuries and condition remain undisclosed, but they are not to believed to be life-threatening. Merman was rescued from his burning vehicle after crashing into a toll plaza. You know, you're supposed to stop for those.
Well, he blew the horn.
Yeah. If the toll didn't get out of the way.
Yeah, who's got the right of way in a situation like that?
I can't believe New Hampshire still has toll booths. After all these people, all these other states have eliminated, they put the gantries up.
I'm going to tell you, in some ways, they're way behind us.
Yeah. And whatever happened to live free or die if you got a toll booth there? That's not free.
No, but you could die if you hit it hard enough. All right.
No charges have been filed, and the police are investigating. Merman is the beloved voice actor on Bob's Burgers and has appeared in other shows like Delocated and The Boys Presents Diabolical. MovieWeb wishes him a speedy recovery. Well, thank God we consulted the folks over at MovieWeb, because if they didn't answer, then humanity is just lost.
But aren't you a little disappointed they appear to be the only ones who are offering any sympathy to Eugene?
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
On behalf of Rock 102, I wish Eugene all the best.
Well, on behalf of WMAS, I wish him the best as well. That means he's not going to recover.
Yeah, I know. that's where careers go to stop.
Courtney Love recently discussed her past feud with Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl during an appearance on the Magnificent Others with Billy Corgan podcast. The two musicians had a close friendship in the past, but their relationship soured after Cobain's death in 1994. The feud began in 1999 when Grohl criticized Love in an interview with Howard Stern. Who's Howard Stern?
I don't know.
Despite
not aware of his work.
Despite their rocky history, Love and Grohl reconciled in 2014 during Nirvana's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. The full conversation between Love and Corgan can be found on Corgan's official YouTube channel. She's mad because people are picking on her, saying that now she had something to do with the death of Kurt Cobain.
Right.
So she wants Dave Grohl to go, hey, can you just say we're cool so people stop picking on me?
And Dave is saying, well, could you please not kill lead singers in my bands?
He's not saying anything. That's the mystery.
Well, I mean, she didn't get along with everybody.
No, she did not.
So maybe Dave just say, well, too bad.
Zendaya made a stylish appearance in New York wearing a striking outfit from Erdem's Autumn-Winter 2026 collection. It's not autumn yet, or winter.
Zendaya could wear a hefty cinch sack and still look terrific.
Yeah. The ensemble featured a hand-woven micro mini dress with a unique textured fringe effect and a structured tweed jacket.
Yeah, well, okay.
Styled by Law Roach, Zendaya completed the look with classic white pumps and soft, natural makeup.
Listen, Zendaya could wear, like, sweatpants with, like, ketchup stains all over them.
Yeah.
And she still looked fantastic.
Yeah, she's a good-looking gal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion. Remember, we don't do enough stories about her. She was hospitalized after falling ill during a performance of Moulin Rouge the musical. She did those people a favor.
I got sick during a performance once of Moulin Rouge.
The Grammy Award-winning rapper experienced extreme exhaustion, dehydration, vasoconstriction. What is that?
That is when your vaso gets really constricted.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you explained it to me because I wouldn't have known. And low metabolic...
Well, it really tightens up.
And low metabolic levels. I hate when that happens, when you're...
I don't like a tight vaso.
I don't know. I kind of like a tight vaso. That's how you know they're good. An understudy stepped in for her, and she's taking time off to rest and recuperate before returning to the stage. Megan Risley made her Broadway debut in the production, playing the role of Harold Zidler.
You know, normally I would correct you and say it was debut, but when you have a vaso, that's constricted.
Yeah, it's debut.
It could be debut.
Debut for sure. Miley Cyrus. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, Miley Cyrus. Stunned in costume Gucci gown and statement heels during the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special. The purple sequined halter-neck gown featured a python-inspired pattern, creating a shimmering and textured look. Yeah, but how is her, what do they call it? Vasco, whatever the hell it was?
Constricted vaso.
Her constricted vaso. Her vaso, I'm guessing, might not be as constricted
Probably
as most
not.
people
Yeah.
think. Well, there you go. That's what she wore to the Hannah Montana thing.
You know, 20 years, and you're finally getting around to Hollywood fashion. Thank God.
You know what?
Things have changed.
Because it's all what's available to me. It's either that or political stories.
I'd much rather hear.
You won't believe what the White House said today. Click here.
I think you made the right choice.
Kim Kardashian has been paid an absurd amount of money for her WrestleMania 24 appearance.
Really? Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh my God! The last time I was had an absurd amount of anything was when Ray J took his bulk Hogan and put it into my Slob Backlund in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Slob Backlund.
Yeah, like a Bob Backlund with the chicken wing thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caitlin?
I never got that done on Dirty With Your Mother, Chris Kim, but I left some dude sweat on the pig knuckle. A little stank-a-dank on the pelvic burrito.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I finished her off with a belly button bird bath jam on the haddock pasty. Did you ever have belly button bird bath jam on the haddock pasty?
No, I haven't.
Well, don't knock
yet.
it till you try it. It'll remind me of your mother.
I'll take your word for it.
And that, not your mother, but Kim's mother. That's who I was talking about.
I know.
And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
When you think about it.
Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I believe it was the great Hannah Montana who wrote in her 2007 international pop hit, Nobody's Perfect, when she said, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days, everybody knows what I'm talking about, everybody gets that way. Never have truer words been spoken about the unpredictability of life's most troublesome foibles. Yesterday, for example, you might recall me talking about Major League umpire C.B. Buckner and his recent spate of professional atrocities that have recently fallen his way. Well, it doesn't get any better from there. Yesterday, I told you that on Tuesday night, Buckner had been greatly criticized after making an incorrect call against Milwaukee's Jake Bauers, calling him out at first base for failing to touch the bag. That call was reversed when instant replay clearly showed that he had, in fact, touched first base. This came just days after Buckner had 6 out of 8 challenges reversed while behind the plate on Saturday's Red Sox-Houston Astros game. While the combination of those two games would have capped off a horrible work week for just about anybody, last night got worse, as C.B. Buckner was forced out of the game in the second inning after getting hit in the face with a baseball. This time, a foul tip from Nick Fortz of the Tampa Bay Rays during an at-bat against Milwaukee's Jacob Mizorowski. Listen, individually, each one of these situations would be enough to screw up your work week. Stacking them all up in consecutive piles of occupational hazards would be enough for me to consider taking some very important time off. Even after just 6 games into the regular season, it's clear to me that C.B. Buckner probably needs to scale back his workload, because at this pace, he's probably not going to make it to the end of the month. And for a 30-year veteran, maybe it's a sign that enough is enough. It certainly would be for me. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Get a grill. Go to Rocky's. All the grills, all the gear, plus free delivery and assembly for all grills, $400 and up. You don't have to wrestle it on the back patio. You don't have to go crazy with the assembly instructions. Rocky's delivers your grill and sets it up for you. Good people, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy today with a high of 40. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
It's also a Thunderbird Thursday, so if you're looking to have at least a bright ray of sunshine, let that be it. You'll get a chance to win those tickets later on today.
That'll be fun. That's a fun time.
And we're also going to be talking to someone from Hooplandia. That's coming up in, I believe, June.
Yeah.
At the Big E. So we'll be talking to Drew Dawson later on, the general manager of Hooplandia.
You know, speaking of the Thunderbirds, I had a guy come up to me yesterday and thank me. And I said, for what? And he goes, because I won tickets to the Thunderbirds because of you. I went to 7B's and I said your name, and then I was entered into a contest, and I won the Thunderbirds tickets. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Like out of the blue. This guy comes up and just thanks you out of thin air.
We were in the same store and standing next to each other, and then he said he thanked me for winning those tickets, and he had a good time.
Well, that's terrific.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Another satisfied customer.
I came across a guy yesterday.
Ew, that's disgusting.
I bumped into a guy yesterday who told me that according to his mother, she was my 3rd grade catechism teacher. She was not. Apparently, I was confused with John O'Brien. And if you knew the two of us side by side, we were probably confused for each other all the time.
All the time.
I was not in the area in 3rd grade, and I think by 3rd grade I had quit catechism.
You quit catechism in 3rd grade?
Well, I wound up going back, but like around that time, I had just about enough.
But then you went on and
I mean, listen, I came back. I was a lapsed 3rd grader when it came to catechism.
You're still a lapsed 3rd grader when it comes to catechism.
Well, maybe a little bit, but I mean, I did finish the process at some point, but. I used to have to see. I was living in Attleboro at the time, like 2nd and 3rd grade, 2nd grade maybe. Yeah, 2nd, 3rd grade, and
this lady was your teacher.
Totally different, not related at all. I swear to you.
You don't think she commuted from here to
allegedly
to
Enfield? No, I don't. I don't think that.
You never know.
Not back in the 70s when gas prices were through the roof. I had to walk to catechism from my house, so like after school. I'd go to this lady's house, be a bunch of kids there, have the catechism, and I'd walk home. I discovered around that time in my life that on Channel 56 and Channel 38 in Boston, they ran cartoons and The Three Stooges. I found that those two entertainment options to be more compelling than catechism. I mean, I know this is Holy Week and everything, and I know that may upset some people, but a 2nd or 3rd grade young boy doesn't always make the best decisions in life. This may have been one of those times.
I don't know. I step into a church every once in a while just to remember.
Do the baptismal fonts start to boil when you do?
No, well, it was funny because I forget this. I probably stopped going when I was a teenager, like regularly. to church.
Yeah.
And then you go to college and you realize it's all a bunch of crap. And then you just keep going with your mother every time like Christmas comes or whatever.
Because it makes her happy.
Yeah, and then my sister's the same way now. Every time she comes to visit, whatever. It's 45 minutes of my time. I'll go sit and listen to what's being served, right? And they changed all that stuff. Like they changed all the way you respond to things.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they did that years ago, and I was like totally oblivious to it. And I'm like, wait a minute, we don't say the Our Father the same way again. Now we hold hands. What is going on here?
I remember Father Scahill at St. Michael's saying when they changed the Nicene Creed and all that other stuff, we all got these little cardboard, these cards that had the new response and the new prayers. And what he said was, the bishops that wouldn't protect your children want you to read this instead.
Yeah.
It's like, wow,
Well,
man,
all right.
that man's got a set the size of church bells.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to call out the boss.
Well, he that was a guy that certainly did time and time again. Great respect for Father Scahill.
the whistleblower.
Yeah, yes.
Which is ironic because that's not what he was.
No.
The
Not-
other people were whistleblowers.
That is correct, but nevertheless.
Jumping tracks here, to not, make the Catholics mad because that's not what we're
Not during Holy Week, no.
Yeah, we can do that any other week. We don't have to do it.
There's 51 other weeks we could choose.
But we had a celebrity in this town yesterday, and
Who?
22 News Storm Team meteorologist Chris Bouzakis visited Blueberry Hill Elementary School to read to students and provide a lesson on weather mechanics.
The Chris Bouzakis?
Yeah, I wonder if he walked in and go, "Oh man, this was like 2 years ago. I was here in this elementary school."
I think he's older than that.
The visit to Longmeadow School aimed to spark interest in future careers in television, science, and journalism. During the event, students participated. Television, science, and journalism, do you think they'd pick somebody that was an expert in one of those fields as opposed to sending the meteorologist?
Well, again, meteorology is a science. He is in television, and in television news, there's allegedly journalism going on. I think if you're going to talk to an impressionable young kid, what you do is you say, okay, kids, here are 3 career options for you. There's television broadcasting, there's journalism, and there's science. I strongly urge you, as a professional, to choose science, since it's the only legitimate profession of the 3.
The educational session included Bouzakis reading a book to the children before transitioning into a technical discussion about the atmosphere. I read this to my coworkers every day.
Chapter 1, Lady Chatterley's Lovers.
He explained.
It was a cold, dark evening.
Yeah. We're going to read The Shrew this morning.
50 Shades of Grey. Gather round, children.
He explained the science behind daily weather changes and how weather forecasters track storms. I remember meteorologists coming to my school growing up and teaching me about the weather, and being able to do it to them now is great. And I hope I inspire the next generation of not just meteorologists, but people in TV and go into science and journalism. It was crazy.
Who is that?
That's Chris Bouzakis.
I've heard Chris Bouzakis do the forecast many, many times. He doesn't quite sound anything like that.
All you got to do is just say we saw evidence markers and police sirens. You're a journalist. And then tell somebody you're going to give them more information, but then don't.
This is very exciting for kids, though. When kids learn that a TV guy is coming into town, kids that age really haven't watched any local news, but nevertheless, you tell a kid, "Hey, this guy's on TV," and you're saying, "Oh," and then that's very for impressionable minds. Meeting someone in television at a young age. I mean, I did it when I was a kid. I remember there was a news anchor from one of the Providence TV stations that came to school, and I just thought, wow, that's like the coolest thing ever. What time is lunch? And then then the rest of the day went on. But it's good for kids to see professionals from their talk about their jobs.
My mother, when we first moved here, signed me up for a seminar at the Ramada Inn on Route 5 in West Springfield. You know, only the finest hotel.
Sure.
Where there was a seminar for radio broadcasting, people who were interested in that.
That's a great place to send your kids.
And it was led by Brad Shepard.
Shut
Yeah.
the front door. How old were you at the time?
17, probably.
17.
Yeah. And Brad Shepard was teaching a class or seminar about how to be successful in radio.
Well, when you were 17, Brad Shepard was successful in radio. Brad Shepard has since retired, enjoying his life, occasionally singing around the area. And here you are. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're a man in his mid to late 40s, enjoying the hell out of a dynamic broadcasting career, a radio icon in this town.
And I have Brad Shepard to thank for that.
Thank you, Brad Shepard. Thank you very much.
Actually, I remember sitting there going, oh, God, if I got to work with people like this, do I really want to be in this business?
Listen, Brad is a good man. Good, solid, 100% American guy. I support everything he does.
When he's cognizant.
Well, he's quite cognizant.
Yes.
My time with Brad, and there has been many times with Brad. Just me, him, chatting up, getting chummy.
Just doing it all up.
It's always been a sheer delight.
Well, there you go. We've limped our way through the 6 a.m. hour. Let's see if we can get the rest of the show going.
It's 6:21 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
At Gary Rome Hyundai, we're driven by gratitude with our $500 caregiver incentive.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:26 and Sublime with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy today with a high of 40. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
Rock 102's Bracket Brawl is still going on, brought to you by Hooplandia and Bud Light. If your bracket's been busted or busted early, you still got a chance to make a new bracket for the round of 4. You go to rock102.com and make your picks before the next game on April 4th, 2 days from now. Make the best picks and you score a $100 gift card to the Yard Tavern. It's Rock 102's Bracket Brawl, brought to you by Hooplandia, Bud Light, the Yard Tavern, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Are you ready to laugh?
What the heck?
Let's laugh if I can find the stupid thing here. There you go.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
Bax, a lion would never drink and drive.
A lion would never drink and drive.
But a tiger would. Yeah, you see? He did drinking and driving the other
Tiger
day.
Woods, right?
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. See, it's a play on words.
Oh, no, I get it.
Referencing golfer
Yeah,
Tiger.
Tiger Woods.
Even though he's
yeah.
not an actual animal.
No, but he's an animal on the golf course.
Yeah,
Stand
that's
behind
right.
the wheel.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you get it.
Yo, I got it.
All right.
Loud and clear.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
6:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A Ludlow man is facing charges for allegedly threatening the father of a victim in an ongoing federal sex trafficking case against his grandson. Officials said 72-year-old Christopher Barbaro's grandson was charged in May of 2025. The victim and their dad were interviewed during the investigation in the fall of 2024. In November, Barbaro sent the father a text which read, "You and your kid are a couple of expletive rats," and then included a rat emoji. And you know what happens to rats? They choke on cheese, you no good expletive. I know what you guys did. He also made similar calls and left voicemails in the following months. Then last month, Barbaro told investigators this, and he faced a judge in Boston on Friday. He's since been released on unspecified conditions. What's with that area? Wilbraham, Ludlow, was a guy in Wilbraham writing crazy stuff online, saying he was going to do stuff. This guy's threatening people via text message.
We're a very aggressive community in that part. Wilbraham, Hamden, Ludlow, Munson. We got a lot of angst.
Yeah.
Like to burn off steam.
Burning
to
off
settle
steam.
scores.
That's how we do it around here?
That's how we do it. We don't put up anyone's foolishness.
State transportation officials have shut down a lane on a stretch of highway in Chicopee for emergency repairs to a bridge, according to the Mass DOT. This must be fixed by now. This was yesterday afternoon.
I would think so, yes.
According to the Mass DOT, the right lane at I-291 westbound bridge over the Chicopee River, Route 141, has been closed down. This is for emergency joint repairs.
Emergency.
The DOT reported Wednesday afternoon. No word on how long the work will last for. Well, I'm imagining it's probably done.
By now, yes, you'd like to think so.
Well, I don't know. We never got the update. So we can't really tell you.
Well, what do you want? The news services to provide every bit of information? We got other news stories to worry about.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. When are we ever going to get an update on this? I don't know what's going on. As of let's see, what is this? Western Mass officials. Oh yeah, the April Fool's jokes. As the calendar flips to April, Wednesday marked everyone's favorite or least favorite holiday of the year, and if you were fooled, you weren't alone. You may have pulled your own April Fool's Day prank, but so did many prominent figures across Western Mass. Western Mass News looked at some of the top posts and temporary additions to the area. We begin in West Springfield, where a new addition is helping combat a growing cost of road and infrastructure maintenance. Mayor Will Ryko posed a toll booth on Route 20, Memorial and Riverdale Avenues that out-of-towners would have to pay. Now, of course, this picture is AI generated, so Don't worry. Reichelt said he'd hold off on this idea. For now! Man, that adorable little scant over there.
He's a caution.
Something that is costing residents more money is all the potholes popping up this spring. It's almost much of an issue with speeding, so Holyoke Mayor's Josh Garcia decided to kill two birds with one stone. And his new plan, he unveiled the Pothole Enhancement Program, creating potholes in high-speed corridors to act like speed bumps and slow a speeding car down. You already do that by not filling the potholes. What is this guy so tone deaf that he doesn't understand that the roads are already bad?
But Steve,
what?
April Fools.
It's not funny.
April Fools.
It's not funny if it's already something that exists.
Listen, if you happen to be one of those unfortunate bastards that cracked an axle in half because you ran over a big giant pothole, I'm sure you must have a great sense of humor about jokes made about potholes.
Oh, you know what? I remember when I put a chunk out of my tire on Whitney Avenue in Holyoke last year.
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off, waiting for the AAA guy to show up, and then him and I were like buddy chumming, going, oh my God, you see what this mayor did over here? He left that pothole right in the middle of the road. Man, what a jokester.
I remember going over a pothole in Parker Street by Parker and Allen, somewhere around there, and I remember almost bottoming out my car, and I pulled over, and I was holding my ribs. I was laughing so hard.
So hard. And when I got the bill from Town Fair Tire, I was like, you guys are something else. I'm thinking between you, the mayor, and the DPW guys, I'm thinking this guy. I'm thinking this guy, the Town Fair guy with
funny stuff
with the $500 bill. Man, that was hilarious.
I'll tell you what, if you could convert those kinds of laughs into a $20 dinner and a comedy show at the Shortstop, imagine how satisfied every customer would be.
That would be April Fool's gold there, Bax.
You're damn right.
That's what that would be. Now, potholes are a sign of the spring, but another telling sign is brush fires beginning to pop up. We've already seen a few in our area. This year, it seems like crews want to prepare themselves as best they can on the ground and in the air. So the town of Pelham's Fire Department is looking to the skies and buying a brand new firefighting helicopter.
April Fools.
AI even helped render out what the copter looks like. Yeah, I'm glad this AI thing can come around so all the fire departments and mayors can have fun doing April Fool's pranks on their residents.
Hey, remember when 90% of your property was burned down in a brush fire a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
You're going to find this to be hilarious.
Yeah, the town says all firefighters will begin training on the unit, but didn't give a specific time or date. You know why? Because it's not real, Bax. It was just an April Fool's joke. Town of Pelham can't afford to have firefighting helicopter.
They can barely afford to have firefighting trucks.
They can't even afford fires right now.
They don't own a single hose in that town.
Finally, we take you to the Big E, and while festivities don't begin until September, the planning has already begun. They announced they'll be bringing a new treat to the fair with your breath being the biggest beneficiary. In this post, their new toothpaste cream puff looks like it makes its debut in September, but it might not be best to swallow that one because of all the fluoride in there.
Yeah, right.
That'll make you sick.
But on the other hand, it won't rot your teeth out.
But you know what? You don't have to worry, Bax, because it's just a joke.
I'll tell you what. The people of the Big E are funny.
Then I look online yesterday and I see a post from Seven Brews Coffee, not Seven B's, Seven Brews, the coffee place that opened up in West Springfield.
Yeah.
And it's like, it starts out going, "We regret to inform you that we're no longer going to be in business." And then if you read the entire thing at the end, it goes, "April Fools, we're still open. Come on by and give us your orders." Oh, man. When I first saw the news that it was closing, and I'm like, oh, somebody finally actually had some of it. And
come on now. Come on.
I told you, I went and got a coffee there. And I asked for, the old lady version, my old lady version of an iced coffee.
Yeah.
Which is 2 sweet and lows and a little bit of cream. Well, I wound up with a bucket of burned dairy, and I had probably 18 sweet and lows inside of that thing, which is 16 more than I would normally put.
Listen, one misplaced order does not make it for a terrible place.
Yeah. You know what else is really terrible? Dunkin' Donuts has just gone right off the cliff. I don't know what the hell they are doing. I had a bagel there, and it tastes. Do you remember in school when you used to make maps out of like the flour and the salt, and then you'd let it harden?
Sure.
You remember like taking a little piece of that because it was, that's what it tasted like. It is like, it is. How can you sit there and present somebody for $3.89 a piece of cardboard?
Yeah.
And go, oh, everybody loves Dunkin'. We're running on Dunkin'.
Well, this is why we don't call it Dunkin' Bagels. It's Dunkin' Donuts. And if you want top-notch, high-quality donuts, that's the place to go.
I wouldn't agree with that either.
Steve, I don't know what you're talking about. It is a New England favorite. It is a.
It's become disgusting, and it's become.
We like disgusting. We're New Englanders.
They're not paying you to say anything nice about them, so what do you care?
What are you talking about?
They haven't paid us in 3 years.
But yet, it is a high quality product, and we New Englanders like things that are not great.
We like terrible things.
We have been embracing those things forever.
That's why,
and we won't stop now.
That's why Applebee's is still thriving.
That's right,
because we like horrible things in this area.
Yeah, if you want to be a snob about things, you go right ahead.
I don't think it's being snobby, other than maybe demanding something that's actually edible. Is that too hard to ask? Where's the CEO of Dunkin' sitting down and eating the Big Mac?
He's having lunch with the guy from McDonald's.
Yeah, but where is he? Was he not? He would be tasting that and going, and just like take a little. Oh yeah, this doesn't taste anything like a rock of flour.
This is one hearty nibble I've taken.
This is disgusting. Chicopee is the first city in Massachusetts to use those automated cameras on school buses to catch drivers who illegally pass them. We were talking about this yesterday. But a technology snag is delaying the fines that were supposed to start yesterday. In February, the city signed a contract with Bus Patrol, which is kind of like Paw Patrol.
But with buses.
Yes,
yeah.
With the intention to lower the number of illegal passings of stopped school buses. Here's how it works. The safety program uses AI-powered cameras to record drivers who fail to stop for school buses, then sending the evidence to police officers who can review the violations and decide whether it was a violation or not. If approved, the ticket is sent with a $250 fine. A trial period has been underway since the cameras were installed. On 10 buses, drivers who get flagged receive a notice in the mail with photos of their vehicle and a link to watch the video of themselves passing the bus. We had to ask, though, and I say we on behalf of Western Mass News, we had to ask, how many drivers have already been caught during that trial period? Chicopee Police shared with us, and I say us.
You mean Western Mass News?
That since the trial period began over a month ago, they've been sent 54 violations to be reviewed. Of those 54, 35 were considered to be actual violations. That means 35 warnings were sent out by mail, and that's just with the 10 bus cameras, not the entire bus fleet. According to Travis Odian from Chicopee Police, the holdup comes down to a technology issue between Bus Patrol and the RMV, specifically how violation data gets transferred and tracked for billing. Since Chicopee is the first city to implement this legislation, that process still needs to be worked out. In the meantime, the trial period with the warnings will continue. Officer Odian said there's also no added cost to the city because of the delay. Bus Patrol's handling all the fixes.
Until they
decide
get past the probationary period and have to pay it.
Until they want to take the rest of the money.
Hey, listen, it could change the course of that city's finances for years to come.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still not 100%. You're still going to get people fighting the tickets. Said that one guy on the Route 10 Tire listener line. But if it saves one life,
okay, says the guy who has not yet been charged for violating.
Yeah.
The ordinance.
Wait till you get a thing in the mail.
Yeah,
and you didn't even do a violation.
Yeah.
You get a ticket in the mail. What are you going to do? Are you going to be like, at least one life was saved, even though my entire day is going to be inconvenienced going to court and having to fight this?
Even though I was erroneously charged for a moving violation and it will affect my insurance premiums for the next 6 years, at least it would have saved one life.
And that's the thing. You get that ticket. And then you have to appeal to the insurance appeals board if you want to not get charged for the increase in insurance. That takes like a year. Yeah,
but if you want to sit there and say at least if it saves one child, I mean, not to put a price tag on a child's life,
because
but
you know you don't care about children. No, that's not what I said. That's what you're using. An argument of heartstring tugging to go, but one child's life saved would be worth inconveniencing a ton of drivers for something they never did.
As long as it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. I-69, giggity.
Yeah.
Is a multi-state infrastructure project that's been in the works for decades. It's a 2,600-mile interstate that stretches from Canada to Mexico. It's an ambitious plan to take motorists across the country, connecting the entire north-south region with access to jobs, education, and healthcare. That's the vision of the NAFTA Superhighway Project, or I-69 corridor, which, when fully complete, will run through 8 states. Are you sure it doesn't just run around the rims of the states?
No, it goes right through the middle.
69 will touch each of those states, said President Gary Langston of the Indiana Motor Truck Association. You think your Peterbilt can handle going through I-69?
A lot of mother truckers out there can't wait to drive that highway.
You know why they call it I-69?
No.
Because at I-70 you blow a rod.
I don't know exactly, Jig. I haven't seen the map of where this runs. Does it run through any particular town in Pennsylvania, like in Hershey, Pennsylvania, or anything like that?
Or Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, or Woods Hole,
the Hershey Highway.
Well, yes, is that part of the highway system in Hershey?
I don't believe it runs north to south. From Canada to Mexico.
Well, that could theoretically run through Pennsylvania. I'm just asking because I don't have a AAA triptych in front of me.
I-69 runs right through Indianapolis.
So
right
it
wouldn't
through the
be
gut.
Near Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah. All right. It's pretty hot. Talking about 8 states getting right around the rim for I-69.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Well, I'm glad we got to the hard-hitting news this
Absolutely.
morning. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be rainy with a high of 40. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
The Rock 102
app. Steven. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:50 and the Doors with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Was he a SEAL or is he having an asthma attack? I can't always figure out what he's doing at the end of there.
It was definitely something respiratory.
Rainy today with a high of 40. It is 40.
This week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest has been John Langford from the band The Mekons. They're going to be coming to the Iron Horse on June 10th, and also the Solid Sound Festival at Mass Mocha in North Adams on the 26th to the 28th. Really great band, really interesting interview. Next week, my guest is Michael Pickering. Michael Pickering is has had an amazing career. First as a club DJ at the Hacienda, which was a club that was financed by New Order and Factory Records. And in fact, the whole story of the Hacienda was told in the film 24-Hour Party People from a few years ago. Michael was involved in that. Also, has written a brand new book called Manchester Must Dance. It's an amazing book of the music and the music scene of Manchester, England. He's my guest on Monday. Fabulous conversation. You'll hear it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and on the Rock 102 app. All brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Have you had anything Reese's lately?
I was just looking at this story, and I find myself getting angry at it.
Yeah, and again, this is something that people were pointing out, and they're like, nothing was changed. What are you talking about?
There's nothing to see here. Keep moving, we'll keep walking.
The grandson of the inventor of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, who has publicly criticized the Hershey Company for tinkering with the classic formula in its spin-off products, appears to have gotten some sweet revenge. The candy company has announced that it will return using classic milk and dark chocolate recipes in all of its Reese's and Hershey products by 2027. If this is true, the people who deserve the credit are the loyal fans who are alarmed by what Hershey was doing, Brad Reese told NBC News on Wednesday. But I'm seeing a lot of red flags here. I think what Hershey is trying to do here is changed with PR narrative. Reese, whose demands that Hershey stop skimping on chocolate, went viral in February. He said he trusts his taste buds more than he trusts the company that produces iconic candies that bear his family's name. If something like Valentine's Day Reese's Mini Heart still doesn't taste like real milk chocolate next year, I know they're lying. Hershey CEO Kirk Tanner made an announcement on Tuesday in an interview with Bloomberg. We're going to make some small investments to really align the portfolio to what the brand stands for. Because you weren't doing that beforehand?
Right.
That consistency is important across the brand. Then why did you change the recipe?
You know, the crazy part about this is they want to be using less chocolate.
Yeah.
There's less cocoa in the chocolate. So it's all filler and chemicals or whatever, binders, whatever it may be.
They do not taste the same.
They don't. And the thing is, you know, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is one of the most beloved candy confections we have in this country. It's one of the reasons I still live here. But to change that, to save a couple of bucks, I mean, to me, it shows a gross lack of consideration for the consumer.
Why don't they just make the bar smaller like all the other companies have done to do shrinkflation versus ruining the quality of a product, going, here, it's the same thing you've been eating all along. And then you bite into it and you're like, no, this tastes like one of those dollar store Easter chocolates.
Listen, if you had to raise the price of a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup because of the high cost of producing chocolate, I think most consumers, loving the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup as much as they do, would be willing to make the sacrifice to pay a few cents more for a two-pack of peanut butter cups.
They're luxury items anyway. It's not like, these are essential parts of people's nutrition. And if you're in the business, that's just the way business goes. If not a lot of people are buying them because they can't afford your product, that's just the way it is, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
If you've got the peanut butter cups and they're 2 feet at a CVS, for example, I'm just tossing that out there because that's where I buy all of my candy in bulk. Mm-hmm. You go to CVS, you get the peanut butter cups, you see the price has been raised a little bit, and you're outraged. Meanwhile, a foot and a half away are a big giant bag of lint balls for twice the price. And you'll pay that money for the lint balls, but you won't pay for the delicious succulent nature of a mouth-watering Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
Yeah.
Please. I laugh. I laugh at your snobbery.
Yeah.
I would pay more for a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
They were already expensive anyway.
Of course they were.
And that's the other thing. They didn't cheapen the price. They didn't bring the price down. They actually increased in price for using what is it? 40% less cocoa is what they were saying in the one article.
The mini Easter eggs were made with the coating contains less chocolate.
Yeah.
But that was the whole point of eating it. It's the combination of the peanut butter and the chocolate. You can't put peanut butter in some of your chocolate or some of your chocolate in the peanut butter. It's a perfect combination, has been for generations.
What about penis butter? You ever have a Reese's penis butter?
I don't know what aisle that's in.
Here going on the Route 10 tire lesson line. Dunkin' sucks. Crap coffee. Food is trash.
All right, but now we're talking about candy.
Yeah,
and this
I know.
is more
But
important.
we're going back because nobody's chiming in about the Reese's penis.
Well, they haven't had
butter
a
cup.
chance. They're too busy eating the lint balls.
Nagle's right about dollar store Easter chocolate. They taste of dust and despair. That's exactly what a Hershey's tastes like right now. It tastes disgusting. It's not the same thing. My favorite is those Cadbury mini eggs. I'm going to stand by. I'm going to die on that hill. On
Okay.
that Easter basket hill.
You be that way.
Yeah.
I like a good lint ball, though.
Yeah. Well, I like a good limp ball. You like a good limp ball?
I like a good lint ball.
I bet you do. Cough it up like a cat.
Sometimes I'll eat more than one.
How many can you eat?
I can probably fit 2 in my mouth.
Look at you. No one can eat 2 lint balls.
Watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me go.
Well, there you go.
It's 6:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. This spring, Rock 102 celebrate.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-step, 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the World Cup of Soccer is coming up this summer, and if you're like me, consumed with apathy and indifference, then you might not be all that interested in going to see the World Cup. Not because you don't care about the most popular sport in the world, but because at those prices, only a jackass would spend that kind of money on a ticket. This year, starting on June 11th, 48 teams from around the globe will be competing in 16 host cities from across Mexico, Canada, and the United States, including games at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Yesterday, FIFA, which governs World Cup soccer, reopened ticket sales for the first time since host cities were announced back in December at drastically increased prices. How much so? Well, let's say if you bought a pair of Category 2 tickets for the July 19th game at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, when the tickets first went on sale, that ticket would have cost you about $5,500. Today, that same ticket would cost you approximately $7,380. And if you happen to purchase a ticket for the World Cup final, that ticket will cost you nearly $11,000, which is a vast increase than the $8,600 you would have been charged 5 months ago. Now, I have to tell you, I much prefer doing other things. But if I had to watch World Cup soccer, I'd rather do it from the comfort of my own home for free, where I don't have to pay for parking, meals, gratuities, or hotels. You see, FIFA thought it would be a wonderful idea to use dynamic pricing to squeeze every available dollar out of the American consumer. Well, I happen to be an American consumer, and as such, I would like to adopt the policy of dynamic frugality. This would allow me to be aggressively not paying $11,000 per ticket to anything. Perhaps I might be willing to spend $10 1,100 times, but even then, after crunching the numbers, I still can't think of anything I want to do that often for that much. Incidentally, not all ticket prices for every game has been announced yet, but even if I had the cheapest ticket to sit in the worst seat in the most boring game of the tournament, that's still too rich for my blood, and I think I'm going to stay home instead. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. If you're painting the house, the whole thing, or just a room or two, you got to go see Steve at the South Hadley Rockies. Work with paint professionals like Steve, and your painting project is going to go the right way. Good people, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware location. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. To Springfield's Classic Rock at 7:10, and Neil Young with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be rainy with a high of 40. It is 40 in downtown Springfield.
So I'm sure you weren't paying attention to my very well written view from the couch segment.
Never do.
I know you do, and a lot of people turn it off, and I totally understand it. But the point of the story I did was, the World Cup is coming to Mexico, Canada, the United States in June, and Foxborough is one of 16 host cities. So, which means they're going to get a bunch of games that don't necessarily include Americans. And the FIFA, which runs World Cup soccer, decided they want to use dynamic pricing for tickets. So the better the game, the higher the price, the greater the demand, and there you go. The story I said, for example, if you bought Category 2 tickets, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I believe it's the tier of the game or the tier of the division for July 19th. If you bought tickets for MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, tickets that would have cost you $5,500 back in December when they first announced the host cities would have cost $5,500. Now that same ticket would cost you $7,380. So for just the laughs, I decided to do a search on the games that are coming to Foxborough, June 13th through, I believe, June 26th. Could be a few games after that, 29th rather. The prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, for example, I'm going to pick this game right here. So this is June 16th, Iraq versus Norway. Now, there are seats as cheap as $584. But those are the back row, and there's only like 2 of those tickets remaining. But if you want good seats, the best seats right now are being sold for $9,332 at Gillette Stadium for a game that most people in Foxborough could not give a rat's ass about. And the thing is, they're claiming on this particular site these tickets are selling fast.
Yeah.
So which means there are people that will actually dish out $9,000 to see Iraq versus Norway at the World Cup in Foxborough.
Well, I mean, saying somebody nobody gives a rat's ass about it is you're just not interested in it. There are plenty of people who are interested in watching it, but like, what kind of financial posturing must you need to do in order to pay? What'd you say? How much was it?
$9,300.
Yeah. What? I mean.
Listen, you may be a soccer fan. I totally get it. But, you can spend a whole lot less just by staying home and not paying for the parking, the hotel, the meals, the gratuities, everything else. But the fact that there are people in this world that are willing to see a game at Foxborough, if you're not even from Iraq or Norway, you're just a regular soccer fan, would you pay that much for that? And the thing is, people are. What's wrong with you people?
But people paid $2,000 for a Taylor Swift ticket. People paid. The problem is the people who are paying the money for it.
Yeah.
If you stop paying the money for it, the ticket prices will actually come down.
Well, see,
and they're not. And that's the people going to it are the problem.
That's kind of what I was getting at. It's like, okay, I understand that FIFA wants this dynamic pricing program in place, and I understand that the secondary market loves to extract as much money out of the consumer as possible. But the fact of the matter is that someone is actually going to put money down. Yeah. Shame on you for doing that. Never mind the fact you're being charged for that. But to pay $9,300 for any soccer game, with an American team or not, is outrageous that you would even consider a $9,300 ticket for anything.
Well, there are people dumb enough that will go out and do this. This is what I was telling you about. Like, I don't think any event is worth more than maybe $150 for a ticket to someplace. Like, and that's why I refuse to buy, like, when my kids ask, hey, can we go see, this star or whatever? Yeah. And you look at the prices of the tickets, it's like $500-something. And I'm like, no, sorry, we're not going to that. I cannot justify spending that kind of money on an artist, no matter how good they are.
Jenny and I went to a concert last Friday night. And we went to the Mahawe Theater in Great Barrington to see Better Than Ezra. I had tickets in the 9th row that only cost me $71.
Right.
To me, okay, $71 is still a lot of money, but that's not going to break the bank if I buy 2 tickets. So we made a night out of it, and it was great. But had I gone on their website and seen that it was going to be $300 a ticket, $500 a ticket,
yeah,
we would have stayed home. Because you're absolutely right. There is no performance of any event that is worth losing your shirt over. I don't care who it is. It would never have happened.
My oldest kid likes indie punk, so we went and saw a band for $20 in Albany in a nightclub.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, what a cool experience this was. $20. It cost me $40. It would cost me more in gas to get to Albany than it did for the entire trip of paying for the 2 tickets. Even with the fees, it was only like $50 total. Like $5 for a ticket fee, $20 for the show. The place was packed.
If it's your favorite band and you're willing to spend $500 on a ticket, that's your choice. Yeah, but if you're willing to drop $1,000 or more or $9,000 on a ticket, regardless of what the event is, that shows a certain level of foolishness on your part. I blame the consumer for that completely.
But even $500, I mean, yeah, you can spend that money, but everybody's going to judge you for spending that money.
Or you just don't tell everybody what you spent to go see that show.
$500.
Dude,
I can't
know.
even remember. I don't even know. I don't even know how much. I think I paid maybe $125 at the most for I took my kids to see Ed Sheeran about 6-7 years ago at Gillette, and there were nosebleed seats, but it wasn't ridiculous in price. It was still, I mean, for the seats that we had, yeah, I overpaid for them.
Right.
But again, if it was probably more than that per ticket, I wouldn't have bought them. I don't know why people keep doing this.
I had a friend of mine, he and I went to like a million shows when we were kids. And so he loves going to concerts, and I totally get it. He called me like a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, Rush is coming to Boston. You want to go see Rush?" Well, I mean, I love Rush as much as the next guy, but the cheapest seats are still $182.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And you know what? As much as I would like to see Rush and I would like to see that tour, even at $182, I got to think twice. Do I really want to go all the way out to the TD Garden to spend $182 for a band I've seen more than once, even with a new drummer? And I'm like,
to sit in,
I don't even know.
To sit in the 4th tier up in the back.
Yeah, the best
for
seats.
$182.
The best seats for the Rush show are going for $723.
And
that's before all the fees are attached.
I was just going to say, by the time the fees are done, you're paying $200 at least per ticket. It's
Easy.
not worth it. It ain't worth it.
I don't blame the artist, and I don't blame. I don't blame the venue. I blame the secondary market, but more importantly, the consumer takes some blame in this.
What's the place you went to the other day?
The Mahaway Theater in Great Barrington.
There's a place that people can go see a show. You got to drop the whole popularity thing of how much it's worth to see some of these people. If Bruce Springsteen, what are the tickets going for like $800 minimum? It's like, you know what? Thunder Road won't even be paved by the time you pay for all that stuff.
Thunder Road's got nothing but potholes in it.
Right. It's like Holyoke. But it's all that money that you're dishing out, and then to turn around and complain about it, how much the ticket price costs. That's even more ironic.
Right.
Well, if you're complaining about how much, just don't buy it. That's the only way. People don't get the only way to change things is to cut these places off at the knees. You got to stop buying into this crap. How much things cost and how much items cost. And I'm talking about luxury items. I'm not talking about basic necessities like food and things like that.
Right.
I'm talking about these things, where they put tariffs on them. Don't buy it. Just don't buy it.
The funny part about it is, I mean, you talk about like Bruce Springsteen. If you spent like $1,500 to see Bruce Springsteen at any venue, you'd say, "Oh, I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. No amount of money is too much money for Bruce Springsteen." I guarantee I had more fun at the Better Than Ezra show for $71 a ticket than if I spent 5 hours watching an almost 80-year-old Bruce Springsteen on stage when I kind of want to be done after about an hour.
Any of those people. I told you with the Motley Crue tickets, $700 to go see Motley Crue at Fenway. They weren't even playing.
Yeah, they were playing to
a backtrack.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
For that kind of, I mean, to be honest, for that kind of price, you know, there are some bands that don't put on a great show, that don't think about showmanship or sounding great or any of that stuff. They're just going through the motions. And if you're going to spend that kind of money to see that, you're not getting your money's worth.
But I don't even blame Motley Crue for that.
No.
They were the ones that go, you know what? These idiots will pay this money for it. I'm going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to put backtracks behind us. We don't even have to play. Who cares what the show sounds like? We already sold the tickets. It's your own fault if you're contributing to this nonsense. Go to the smaller venues. The Treehouse up in Deerfield, beautiful outdoor grounds. They have great. I saw They Might Be Giants there.
Right.
There was a ton of people there, but you didn't feel crowded because there's so much open space, and you can bring your own chair. They already have Adirondack chairs. They got plenty of air conditioning inside. If you want to go back inside, like there are many other places around here where you can go see live music that sounds pretty damn good. It might not be your star.
You know, I mean, there's some great shows coming to the Iron Horse. Yeah, and they are tickets are starting like $36.
Yes, that's
to see guitarist Stanley Jordan.
And you don't have to drive 2 hours and wait in traffic.
No.
The most traffic you'll get is on King Street at the end of the show.
I tell you what, I always prefer like a smaller venue because I think you do get to see some really good shows you might not always see and that you might not have to spend a fortune to get tickets for. That makes a whole lot more sense than going to, Gillette. So I'm going to see a show at Gillette Stadium, or I'm going to go, to see the World Cup. Well, great for you if you've got the $9,000 per ticket just to see it. I'd rather spend $36 to be far more entertained at a show like at the Iron Horse or some other, even Toad's Place in New Haven if I had to.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna default on my mortgage because I went to go see a show.
Yeah, actually, this guy, you can go to the Broadbrook Opera House for a good show and a good price, especially in May, where you can see Steve and Marty for a great comedy show.
You can go see
those tickets are only $25.
You can get a $20 dinner and a comedy show tonight at the Shortstop.
Yeah, and you get Swedish meatballs with it. Do you think Tommy Lee is serving up Swedish meatballs?
The only balls he's serving are like a speedballs. That's about it.
Actually, he's probably got the home. That's where they modeled the home wrecker from Autumn Mist Farm. I think the Autumn Mist Farm was like, hey, Tommy, can you send us a mold of yourself so we can sell this as a hot dog? It's huge.
How many animals had to die to make that happen?
6.
It's 7:24 on Rock 102. 6. We're Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy today with a high of 40. It is 40 in downtown Springfield.
The Rock 102 Golf Club is back, brought to you by Surfside, Sunshine and Can. Get deeply discounted rounds of golf. Some of the area's great courses. And this year you got 2 different options to choose from, the North Card or the South Card. Get one, get both. They make a great gift. Either way, it's less than $20 a round. That is a whole lot less than, say, going to the World Cup in Gillette Stadium in June at $9,000. The Rock 102 Golf Club, brought to you by Surfside, goes on sale right now, in fact, at the Shop 30 store at rock102.com.
I have to point out, we have a female that works here who does videos sometimes.
Yeah.
Actually, every day she does videos. And every day she comes up with a topic that we're required to produce X amount of videos. The amount of men who comment under that,
yes,
under her videos of the, hey, beautiful, you're so pretty. Mm-hmm. I'd like to take you out sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I could walk our dogs together.
Right.
Maybe stop doing that. Would you do that to? Would
No.
you want somebody to do that to your mom or your
No.
sister or whatever?
What?
Just randomly.
How
Randomly.
deficient do you have to be at situational awareness to know that those kinds of comments make you look like a creep, not a possibility?
I love you. That was one. That was another
Yeah.
one. I love you.
Yeah,
You're
a creep, not a contender, okay?
Oh, you're so pretty. Take the sunglasses off. I want to see those baby blues. Hey, come on.
All right, now you're making me uncomfortable because you're looking right at me as you're saying it.
Because this poor Natalie, she's just doing her job and trying to, make people interact, but not in that way. We don't need that.
And she's just she's a super nice person and doesn't need to have you creeps following her around. So knock it off already.
I really can't imagine going online. I mean, believe me, I've scrolled through the social medias and I see some pictures on there, and I'm like, yikes! That's something.
But you appreciate
silence. From afar. I don't just go, oh my god, hey, beautiful.
What
are you doing Friday night?
Do any of these guys think they have a snowball's chance in hell? Because to be honest with you, they don't.
I've asked before, has this ever worked for somebody? And if it did, then that's not a good person you're with who accepted that. Oh my God, he called me beautiful randomly on a Facebook post. I don't even know the guy.
He seems so nice. I don't need a guy with all his teeth.
He needs, yeah, that's right. I do need a daddy to show me what's right. I have never heard a woman say that.
No.
I've never heard of been like, why yes, I do talk too much, and frankly, I like I like the way you're coming on to me by telling me how pretty I am.
Dear listener, thank you so much for sending peekaboo shots of your genitals. Is there any way we could meet and discuss this, and maybe over drinks or dinner sometime? Because I'd love to see them up close.
Yeah.
That's never happened in the real world.
Just knock it off. Stop it.
You're being a creep. You're not a contender.
I love you, though.
It's 7:30.
You're so beautiful.
News is next on Rock 102.
Shop 30. Click
2 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Bond 124 Gastropub in Somers, Connecticut. Open daily. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Where did I just lost my spot. Oh, yeah, this guy in Ludlow. Threatening a man from Ludlow has been charged with harassing and threatening a witness in an ongoing sex trafficking case. In a news release from the Department of Justice, 72-year-old Christopher Barbaro allegedly sent the victim's father threatening text messages and voicemails and told federal agents that he would beat him up if he saw him. You probably shouldn't do that via text message or to a federal agent.
Especially.
I'm going to kick his ass.
I'm going to show him who's boss.
Barbaro's grandson was charged in May of 2025 with conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking of a minor and with transporting a victim to engage in prostitution. During the initial investigation, law enforcement interviewed multiple people, including one of the victims and the victim's father. Following the interviews in November of 2024, Barbaro allegedly sent the victim's father a text message that stated, "You and your kid are a couple of F-rats," with a rat emoji. "And you know what happens to rats that choke on cheese, you no good mother F. I know what you guys did."
Now, did this guy send these comments in between commenting on Natalie's videos on Rock 102?
Yeah, well, that's, hey, beautiful.
Yeah, because this is kind of like, to me, it's almost the same personality type.
I'd like to see you out in the sunshine someday.
Just stop
Just randomly in the park.
You're killing it for the rest of us. Stop it.
You sea blanker. I'm going to get a hold of your effing face.
Now, when you threaten somebody on a post or an instant message or email, that can be used against you in a lawsuit, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening to this guy. He's being charged with threats in a federal investigation, which is even worse.
Bet he never thought that would happen.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just trying to look for news here because there wasn't.
Because it's a newscast?
Well, it's yeah. I mean, I had some of this stuff. Oh, today is the day of a major deadline is. Today's not the day. A major deadline is looming for gun owners and instructors across Massachusetts. Yeah, starting today. New state regulations under Chapter 135 goes into effect, changing requirements of getting a firearms license. The state did publish a list of approved courses on Wednesday afternoon. However, not every submitted course made the cut. Instructors at Pioneer Valley Arms in East Longmeadow spent the afternoon refreshing their emails, waiting for the state to approve the new classes they are supposed to start teaching in less than 12 hours. The state published the list around 2 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. Afterwards, we, as in Western Mass News, spoke with the owner of the gun shop who still had no answers. The course they submitted wasn't on it. For gun owners across Massachusetts starting on today, the rules change, but the people responsible for teaching those rules, they still don't know if they're allowed to or not. At Pioneer Valley Arms, the doors are open, but the answers are missing. With new regulations.
And, basically, Western Mass News is looking for answers.
They are. Pioneer Valley Arms owner Michael Munier said, we're looking for new regulations. Basically, every existing class, unless it's been updated and approved, no longer considered valid.
Why are you making him sound like Charles Bronson?
No, I'm trying to be like, hey, Annie Oakley.
Yeah, that's like a Charles Bronson type of thing.
Was that what they were modeling that off? I think
they were trying to make it like a Charles Bronson.
Now give me my gun.
Yeah. Well, listen. Sometimes the laws have to be a little bit more clear, especially for those who on the retail end of it. I'm sure they want to be able to be compliant. Need some information.
He was still sitting by his computer waiting for the state to approve the new curriculum. Without the stamp of approval, he can't legally teach the class people need to exercise their Second Amendment rights. Does he get so mad that he just starts dropping lead into the screen?
No, I don't think that's the case.
Take that.
No, he's a legitimate business owner.
It's metaphorical. You're not actually shooting officials. You're just shooting this email system that an official sent. That's not really a threat.
No, it's not. No.
It's more out of frustration.
Again, metaphorical.
Yeah, metaphorically. It's not just the lesson plan, it's the paper. See, they change these laws and then they don't put the rules in fast enough in order to change, and here you got a bunch of business owners trying to teach people how to handle a firearm properly.
And without clarification, they don't know, they don't want to be non-compliant or violating the rules.
No.
There's a lot on the line for them as a business.
Arby's. Don't you like Arby's?
Yes, I don't like Arby's.
Yesterday, Arby's CEO Paul Brown announced a major shift for the company at an annual restaurateur convention in Las Vegas.
Oh, let me guess. They'll start selling beef that doesn't have that rainbow glow to it.
Speaking in front of fellow brand leaders, Brown emphasized the company's commitment to evolving sourcing standards amid a changing global supply chain. Arby's has the meat, and we take that responsibility seriously.
Sure.
Brown cited sourcing challenges stemming from recent legislative changes in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, noting that the company would be implementing new guidelines across its supply chain. We are updating our standards to ensure greater consistency in how our ingredients are sourced and classified. Are they going to use actual beef?
They do use actual beef. It's just not the cuts that you'd want to eat.
Brown later clarified that the changes would include a transition away from human-derived ingredients across its products.
What does that mean?
That's what I don't know. We are proud to move forward with a new internal benchmark of being fully non-human in origin. Were you using human meat before?
No, they're not using human meat.
This will include our roast beef, brisket, and, of course, horsey sauce. While research shows trace amounts of human-derived ingredients are harmless, we know that customer expectations are evolving, and we aim to meet the customers where they are. We'll be moving away from legacy sourcing practices and delivering our signature slow-roasted meats with human-free horsey sauce. Okay, wait a second.
What does that mean?
The humans were making the horsey sauce?
Or were they not making the horsey? Or is it made just by machines?
Maybe that's what it is. You're human sourced. I don't understand what human sourced means.
So, like, for example, you send human beings out into the horseradish fields to pick the horseradish root out of the ground, and then the humans actually grind up the horseradish, make the sauce, stick it in those little packages, and then distribute it properly. All done by human hands, as opposed to, say, like a horseradish extruder.
Right. So the human-derived ingredients are bad. That's the bad one.
Okay.
So they're trying to get rid of that stuff. Human-derived ingredients in cosmetics and skin care, such as growth factors, stem cell media, and exosomes, are bioactive compounds sourced from human biological materials, including placenta, blood, and fat tissue. Again, they're using human ingredients in your horsey sauce. What part of that are they using?
I mean, I can understand if someone like loses a finger in an industrial accident and all of a sudden it's in all the packages of horsey sauce.
Well, that happened with the lady with the chili, and it turned out to be her husband's finger.
Right.
But,
that kind of thing can happen.
Yeah.
But this is disturbing, to say the least.
That you've been eating human-derived ingredients all this time.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Makes you not want to think. He later clarified that the changes would include the transition away from these things, while Brown added that the company is working with third-party suppliers to ensure compliance with the updated standards. We stopped using humans are us for our ingredients, and we're actually using actual horses in the horsey sauce this time.
Finally, some truth in advertising.
We've implemented additional screening measures to prevent any unintended inclusion of human-derived materials. Some of the products may experience minor changes in texture and flavor. You mean it actually might taste good?
They're going to start adding it.
Yeah. Despite the shift, Brown reassured customers that the dining experience would remain largely unchanged. Most people won't even notice a difference.
You know, I'm hoping we have the details of this wrong and that we're not talking about full human sourcing, because that's, that's a little upsetting.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that means.
I mean, to me, it sounds like it's made by humans, not made with humans. You know, you understand the differential there?
Is this an April Fool's joke?
I don't know.
Because now I'm thinking it might be an April Fool's joke. But why are these companies doing that? What? That's not even a funny joke.
No, it's not funny. But they've got the meats.
They don't. There's no such thing as meat at an Arby's.
It's meat.
It's not meat.
It's not fake meat.
It's
meat.
Like whatever that is.
It's just not your highest cuts of meat. That's all.
Even the crappiest cuts of meat still taste like better than what an Arby's tastes like.
But they're still meat.
Now you're just splitting hairs, horse hairs.
Am I really?
Yeah, you're splitting horsey hairs. Which is actually, I found a. You think the horse goes, "Oh, I found a human hair in my."
I won't eat this.
My horsey
this is
sauce.
disgusting.
This is gross.
I'm not eating this. There's a hair on it.
Soylent Arby's is people. Somebody wrote on the Route 10 Tara listener line. Yeah, I don't even know if that's even a real story now, because I went to Reddit and it says this post was part of an April 2026 April Fool's event.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We need to just eliminate that holiday altogether.
It's inconvenient and misleading.
It's very inconvenient. All right, well, I've had enough of this. Your Pioneer Valley forecast is going to rain today with a high of 40. It is 40 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Ah, yeah.
Celebrate Easter this Saturday and Sunday.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:50 and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy and a high of 40 today. It is 40 in downtown Springfield.
This spring, in fact, this month, we are looking for Bacon and Brews. April 19th at the Log Cabin. It's going to be a great afternoon of eating and drinking and having fun. Live music from Yellow 9. But more importantly, bacon-inspired bites from the Log Cabin chefs. Great event. Tickets are on sale at rock102.com. You got to be over 21 with a positive ID to join us. It's Bacon and Brews, brought to you by Curry Honda Chicopee, Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, and Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
I don't know. What do you got over there? What do you got doing? What's going on? What's going on in Baxy's world other than a $20 dinner and a comedy show tonight?
Dude, I don't even know where to begin. There's so much going on in my life that I'd really rather not talk about. But yeah, nevertheless, too much 35 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag.
That sounds really appealing, actually.
Believe me, it's not.
Tonight at the Shortstop, we're going to have comedian Christy Kilbasinski. She won Last Comic Standing this past year. She got a ton of credits.
Wow.
She's going to be closing out the show at the Shortstop. Tonight we have a female comedian coming to the Shortstop. Somebody mentioned we've had a couple of females here and there. But, we got to break up the boys' club every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, otherwise it's just a big sausage
and
fest.
Somebody said, I even have a lot of female comedians. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not being approached by a lot of them. I mean, I don't go out seeking people. Most people who come to the room are seeking me out and asking.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And according to some, I don't book anybody who's funnier than me. That's what I heard.
Oh, really? Who came up with that criticism?
Some guy I've never even met, nor has ever sent me a message asking me for time at the Shortstop. He just went out and said all this stuff online about, Steve never books anybody funnier than he is.
Yeah, you do.
Actually, every week I do. Every single week.
Listen, I've seen your show. Most of the comedians you book are funnier than you.
It's a showcase.
Yes.
I go host the show. I try out some new jokes, and I let these other guys do their thing and entertain people. I mean, it's not about me. I mean, yes, it's about me and I'm hosting the show and I'm getting people to come out there to do that.
But it's not exclusively about you.
No,
I mean, you're a part of the show.
Yeah, but every once in a while you come across a post that means one thing.
Yeah.
From these dink open micers, and they're like, I've never had a good experience with that guy.
Really?
You've never had any experience with me because you've never contacted me.
You've never had a good nor bad experience.
Yeah. And these are the folks that like to take screenshots and post not from me, but if you did, you would know that I wouldn't have ever said anything like that to you.
Yeah. Well, and let's be quite honest too. You're putting together a showcase to spotlight great comedy.
Yeah.
Everyone, the dudes that are complaining the most are usually the ones that can't provide good comedy.
I didn't say that.
But I did.
You did.
I don't mind saying it.
Listen, man, I'm willing,
because I've seen that in action before.
I'm willing to open it up. I actually, this guy, this Anthony Pagan. He just asked me like a few months ago. Hey, I've been doing these open mics. Is there any? Yeah, of course. Come on out. 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes to see how you do.
And he did great.
And if you can hold a crowd, then we'll have you back. Maybe you can do some more time. And now the kid's coming with us. He's doing shows with us on the road. He does guest spots on there. But that's how it works.
Yes.
And he's doing a great job doing. And he actually works on his material.
Well, there are people, and you know this as well as anybody else. Yeah. There are people that are convinced that no one is funnier than them. Their problem is they've never seen themselves perform.
That is a key thing. That is a very key observation.
It's a very important observation. They are the last ones to judge their own level of talent.
So if you want to come out, you have a great meal of Swedish meatballs and a touring headliner, a female, who's very funny. Come on out to the Shortstop tonight. Make your reservations. Buy some tickets on Venmo or message me.
You know what we have to do? It is a Thunderbird Thursday, and we have a guest next hour. So you want to do this now, or you want to do this after 9 o'clock?
I think we should do this right now.
Okay. Thunderbird Thursday. This is for, let me see, which game is this for? For Saturday's game. 4 hats, 4 koozies, 4 tickets to the Springfield Thunderbirds. 10th caller right now, 293-1021. Good luck to you.
There you go.
All right, it's 7:56 on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:09 and Billy Idol with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy with a high of 40. It is 40 in downtown Springfield. We were talking earlier about the April Fool's jokes.
Yeah.
Locally. You had Mayor Will Reichelt saying they were putting toll booths in on Route 20.
And Josh Garcia talking about how they're going to make the potholes deeper.
Which was really not a smart thing to do, but he did it anyway. But April Fool's Day jokes are up are fun up until the person telling them becomes the punchline. Some companies have discovered their innocent shenanigans failed to delight audiences and instead tarnished their brands. That's because for every well-executed hoax advertising a fake product, see Game of Thrones actor Thor Bjornsson's commercial for Heavy Bubbles, there's an overeager company whose ill-conceived pranks blew up in their faces, sometimes spectacularly. Here's the honorable mentions. What is it with major brands announcing questionable flavor combinations every April Fool's Day? That's exactly what furniture retail company IKEA did. We were talking about IKEA yesterday. With a totally not eyebrow-raising meat lollipop. They were basically putting the Swedish meatball on a stick. We heard you like Swedish candy, so here's the Swedish mashup nobody asked for, but everyone will want to taste. And then they put a picture of a real lollipop next to a Swedish meatball lollipop. Didn't really work out for them.
See, now, I would have thought that'd be a great idea. I wouldn't mind having a Swedish meatball on a stick.
Yeah, but they're calling it candy. It's not real. It doesn't exist.
If the only thing you have to compare it to would be like a bag of Swedish fish.
Yeah.
I'd take the meatball every day.
You know the Swedish fish aren't even Swedish?
They're not even fish.
They're Dutch.
They're Dutch?
Yeah.
How'd the Dutch appropriate the Swedish culture?
I don't know. The latest flavor from Heinz.
That's like Canadian bacon. Do they really? Is that the only kind of bacon they have in Canada? Because if they do, I feel sorry for the Canadians.
Well, it's just basically ham, isn't that what that is?
Yeah, it's a smoked ham.
The latest flavor from Heinz in the UK seems sus, to put it mildly, as the kids would say. And mild is the exact sort of flavor you'll get with the brand's new matcha-flavored mayonnaise to dip your chicken wings in.
Stop.
What's matcha?
Matcha is like a tea. It's like a Japanese tea. It's green. It's a lot of health benefits to it, but, I mean, you wouldn't put that in mayonnaise.
Perfectly paired with whatever vanilla soy latte you happen to enjoy.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
The company announced the new flavor yesterday morning and on April Fool's Day, so of course it was legitimate. As real as Heinz' other product announced in the U.S. Ketchup, which was ketchup in a keg.
See, that kind of sounds fun to me.
A distillery announced a new Kit Kat flavored drink after major theft for the April Fool. Remember we were talking about the 12,000 boxes or 12 tons or something like that,
right,
of Kit Kats that were stolen from Nestle last week. Of no interest to Interpol, we're sure Salford Distillery in Manchester, England has exciting new flavor you can try. Kit Kat flavored rum.
Yeah, that seems ridiculous, but I mean, how many flavored vodkas are there out there? Even breweries.
Yeah, I mean,
there's one in Vermont that sells like a peanut butter cup beer. It's actually quite good.
Yeah. And then they go back to 2018. Elon Musk had joked that Tesla was totally bankrupt in 2018, days after stock plunge, and investors did not laugh. March of 2018 was not a good month for Tesla. Shares of the electric car company nosedived to its then worst levels amid a storm of unflattering headlines, which included production issues, auto recalls, downgrades, and then Elon Musk goes, "We are completely broke," which really impresses your investors.
Yeah, especially those who are looking to spend money for the first time.
In 2005, a radio station in Bakersfield announced the station would award a new Hummer to the lucky winner who could guess the correct mileage of the company's own Hummer H2 as they drove around town. Shannon Castillo was one of two people who guessed correctly, 103.9 miles, matching the radio station's carrier frequency.
And there was no Hummer?
No, she hired a sitter to watch her two children and arrived at the radio station early at 6 a.m. on April 1st to claim her prize, only to discover she was being awarded a toy truck and not a $60,000 vehicle. And after being handed a fake car from the dubious contest, she filed a real lawsuit and won against the station for $60,000. This is why we don't do April Fool's jokes.
Well, when you run the risk of a lawsuit, then yes, nobody wants to do them anymore.
And then they're talking about that lady back in 2001 who was a waitress at a Hooters restaurant who learned she'd be winning a new Toyota which was actually just a toy Yoda doll.
You know,
She also sued and settled for...
It seemed clever at the time to do a play on words, but it had to be on a sign somewhere.
You'd think so. Google caused more headaches for itself than laughs after an April Fool's Day joke in 2016 backfired, leading the company to issue an apology to dissatisfied users. The search engine company announced as part of its prank that its newest Gmail feature called Mic Drop was supposed to make it, quote, easier to have the last word on any email by adding a GIF of a yellow animated minion character dropping a microphone. But a coding error from Google's programmers caused the mic to drop appear on emails unintentionally and had to be turned off manually. We love April Fool's jokes at Google, and we regret that this joke missed the mark and disappointed you.
Jesus.
Yeah. The idea of even doing April Fool's jokes. I did a video yesterday saying all the escalators in the Holyoke Mall were working, but that was April Fool's.
Yeah, that would never
See, that was
happen.
funny.
Yeah.
See, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, because no one would have expected that to happen.
because that wouldn't happen. It's just
not all of them.
No, but somebody was like, fake news. I knew you were lying from the get-go.
See, I didn't do any April Fool's jokes of any kind whatsoever.
Why not?
Because I find it exhausting with very little payoff.
There's also been not just April Fool's thing, but I remember 9/11 faux pas. For like the 10th anniversary, this Marriott was giving away muffins between 8:45 and 10:10 a.m. to know when the attacks happened.
If you can't enjoy your muffins, then the terrorists would have won.
I mean, honestly, they should be free all day.
Possibly.
You know, but they're not. Raising Cane's did Coke sauce. They were putting Coca-Cola into their famous sauce that they have. That didn't do well.
Did they legitimately put the Coke in the sauce? Or they just threatened to?
They're saying they were putting the throat and they were selling it and all this other stuff. That didn't work out. Where's another one here? There's all kind. I mean, if you just Google the failed April Fool pranks, you can find all of these.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to stop. There's already enough misinformation out there on anything.
Right.
Let alone a day where you have to be extra aware.
The last time we did one, this goes back a lot. This goes back to the 90s. The last time that we as a radio station did a April Fool's joke, we set up a phony scenario where John and I announced that we were leaving Rock 102 and being transferred to our station in Des Moines, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But that our first day on the job would have been simulcast. So we had our production director, Jerry, do like traffic reports in Des Moines, Iowa, where there was a cow like in the middle, calling him back up because it wouldn't, like it's standing in the middle of a road somewhere. I mean, we phonied up the entire thing. Different kinds of music. We had like scratchy audio in the background. And then at the end of it, after like 2 hours, we said, April Fools. And then we were told, okay, no more of those ever again.
I'm telling you, one of the funniest April Fool's pranks I heard on a radio station was with Dave Coombs back in the 1990s. He had this partner. It was Dave and the Fat Man. The Fat Man was the
Which one was he?
He was not the Fat Man. But the Fat Man was the show.
Sure.
He was the guy who made the show.
Find that hard to believe.
And really, do you? And they did this entire thing with this background like they were at a live broadcast, and it was a beautiful day out. It was right around, obviously Easter was that coming weekend.
Right.
They were saying that there was like large sums of money in Easter eggs at the park. They never specified what park they were at, and all of a sudden they'd be this kid would walk up and go, "I found $50 in the egg." And it was I remember listening to it going, "Oh my God, what park are they at?" Even my older brother was like, "Yeah, what park are they at?" Because there's the city of Syracuse is large, but it's not that big.
But it's got sheriff parks.
It does have its share of parks, and they were doing this whole thing, and finally, all of a sudden, they just cut the audio of the background of people, and they're like, "What are you talking about? We're in the studio." That was hilarious. It was actually very funny because some guy was calling up, getting real frustrated. "What the hell park are you at?" And they weren't at the park. Now, whether or not it was real or not, whether that caller was real, the caller could have been fake too.
Sure.
But that was like some effort put into stuff like that. I will credit Dave Coombs in some good things.
Well, he had to do one good thing to sustain such a lengthy career.
It wasn't even his idea. It was the fat man. The fat man carried all the weight. That's why he was so fat.
Literally, yeah, he was probably stress eating from having to work with that guy.
What's your favorite April Fool's prank that you lifted off of your coworker?
There's money in the park.
Who wants to go watch a basketball game in a hotel room while we eat pizza and just don't say anything to each other?
Yeah. It's almost 8:21 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
The Rock 102.
8:29 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. I don't know. Just a bunch of crap stories here this morning.
Well, listen, they all can't be winners, Steve.
Well, they should be. Mm-hmm. Richie Neal, Long Meadow's own. We're in the same neighborhood as he is now, right?
He's not from Long Meadow. He's from Springfield.
He lives in Long Meadow.
No, he still lives in Springfield.
Oh, he lives in Long Meadow, I thought.
No, he's up in Atwater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, forget what I just said then.
Okay, so Springfield's very own, Richie Neal.
He toured Holyoke High School to meet with students and observe the district's progress following its recent exit from state receivership. The visit included classroom tours and discussions regarding the school's system's turnaround after more than a decade of state oversight. Holyoke Public Schools officially exited receivership in July, ending a period of state control that began in 2015. And look what we have for an assembly. This guy. We used to have those actors that come in and taught us about bullying.
Yeah, right.
Now we just got this guy with the greased up hair coming in.
Don't talk about his hair.
Boring us to tears.
Listen, he is a long-standing servant of this community, representing all of us in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital.
He's doing a fine job.
Who can complain about our government?
Nobody.
There's nothing to complain about.
Right. Everything's
nothing.
going fine.
Working out terrifically.
A 17-year-old has been arrested and charged in connection with a shooting that took place in March on Pine Street in Holyoke. The department states that on March 6th at 7:30 p.m., officers were sent to an apartment at 214 Pine Street for a report of a shooting. When officers arrived, they located two men with gunshot wounds, one with serious injuries. Both men were taken to a local hospital. Detectives with the Holyoke Police Criminal Investigations Bureau began investigating the shooting and identified a 17-year-old from Holyoke as the suspect. A warrant was later issued for his arrest. As the investigation continued, a second warrant was issued on charges unrelated to the shooting. On March 26th, the suspect was arrested in Pittsford, Vermont. During a motor vehicle stop, was arrested on two outstanding warrants. At 4 p.m., he was taken into custody in Holyoke. He's charged with all kinds of good stuff and an arrest warrant, witness intimidation, yada, yada, yada. Due to his age, his name won't be released. So there you go.
Okay.
Did you know that April... Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I'm almost there.
Okay.
Distracted Driving Month.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Distracted Driving Month? Hang on a second. Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
I wasn't even aware that people were distracted while they're driving.
It's not, you're not supposed to drive distracted. That wasn't what I was implying.
Well, what were you implying?
April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, which is an initiative to combat distracted driving.
Well, you got to be aware it's happening before you can actually start chipping away at the problem.
I read this story on the highway this morning at 5:15 a.m. And I was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe it's Distracted Driving Awareness Month. This is crazy." AAA states that it was either this or the Instagram reels. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know which one to choose from, and glad I picked this story up because otherwise we would have had nothing to talk about today.
Right.
AAA states that distracted driving increased by 12% in 2023. While deaths nationwide decreased 1% during that period, 3,275 people were killed in crashes involving a distracted driver. According to the NHTSA, the number of people injured in distracting driving crashes rose from 289,310 in 2022 to 324,819 in 2023. These statistics come as safety organizations emphasize the dangers of cell phone use behind the wheel. But how are you supposed to text people if you can't pick up your phone?
I mean, these TikTok videos aren't going to watch themselves.
I've seen an increase of the people at the traffic lights that you have to beep at because they're on their phone.
Oh, yeah, they're not paying it. Again, have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but at least you're at the traffic light doing it.
Right.
In Massachusetts, the Impact Crash Data Portal recorded nearly 46,000 crashes involving at least one distracted driver between 2021 and 25. More than 13,000 of those incidents resulted in injuries, and 85 of them were fatal. So they're just telling you. AAA is offering the following tips. Avoid texting, emailing, or scrolling through social media while driving. Put your cell phone on Do Not Disturb or place it in the glove box. In the glove box? Back seat or trunk of your vehicle? Trunk of your vehicle? I'm going to put the phone in the trunk.
Suppose I got an incoming call.
Well, you can still answer the call. It's still hooked to the Bluetooth.
I can't put anything in my glove box. It's full of gloves.
Pull over and park in a safe location. Ask a passenger to be the designated texter to respond to calls or messages during the drive. I don't want my girlfriend seeing what I'm writing to another girl while we're driving it down the street.
Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
I don't want my wife to see the barista I've been texting at the Starbucks.
Because then I would have to distract her from what's going on my phone.
Yeah.
That's very confusing while I'm trying to drive.
I don't understand, honey. What is this? You want to put a little whipped cream on her latte? What does that mean? Nothing, honey. It's just she was writing me nice messages on the side of my Starbucks cup, and I figured I'd be friendly with her.
It's just code.
Code for what?
Anything. She's not meaning what she's saying. It's code.
Avoid other forms of distraction while driving, including eating, drinking, and putting on makeup. You know what? You're not going to tell me not to eat and drink while I'm driving.
I'll tell you, there's sometimes on a long road trip, I just want some soup.
Yeah, a bowl of soup while you're driving. Do you crumble crackers in it while you're driving,
Oh,
too?
yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. Sometimes even grill in the car.
Yeah, what about chili? Are you in for a good chili while you're driving?
It depends. Sometimes I get the GERD.
Yeah. What about other products? Like, let's say, condensed milk? Like you're making a Tres Leches cake.
Yeah, right.
You eat a whole Tres Leches cake right while you're driving.
You know what I really like while I'm driving? I'm really getting a real hunger pang. Corn on the cob. I mean, I love that when I'm driving, too. You're really chomping into a cob of corn, butter all over the place. You're trying to steer with your knees.
Yeah. I like corn on the cob.
I do, too.
Yeah. Now, if you just get those little holders, you won't have to worry about your steering wheel getting greasy when you put your fingers back.
Yeah, right. Well, on the bottom of the steering wheel, I usually put like a napkin on the top of my knee. I have the napkins all the way in the back seat, so I reach over to the back seat, put the napkin on my knee. I drive with the knee. I got both hands ready for the cob of corn, and I can text.
I like that idea.
Delicious stuff.
Well, I'm trying to think what else you could eat while you're driving, because who's going to give up hunger? I mean, you're going to satisfy your hunger,
right?
What about spaghetti? You like a whole big plate of spaghetti?
Yeah,
I like getting a chicken parm with a nice spaghetti underlay and the soup and the salad.
Oh yeah, and I gotta have some breadsticks like in the cup holder or something. But I like to eat more the traditional way when eating the spaghetti. So I like the spoon and the fork.
Yeah,
and I swirl the pasta in the spoon with the fork.
Yeah,
I mean it requires both hands, but that's why I got the knee and the napkin.
What about like cereal and milk?
That's good too. Yeah.
Like Fruit Loop. Who doesn't love a good bowl of Fruit Loops while they're driving down I-91?
Yeah, that's why they call you Mr. Applejack.
Yeah, what about the rack of ribs? You ever pick up a rack of ribs and start eating those while you're driving? And don't forget the rib that fell into the bag, the McDonald's French fry.
I was at Theodore's last night. I was like, well, man, I'm sure we could Use them in my. Sure could use a few more ribs while I drive.
See, I like soup, but in one of those giant bowls, like they serve at like a Japanese restaurant.
Yeah,
you know, with the egg and the pork,
or
and
like a good old traditional Vietnamese pho. That's a good bowl of soup to have.
Yeah,
a big giant bowl like you get at the Pho Saigon in Forest Park. Delicious.
Who doesn't want a traveling Golden Corral while they're driving down the street? I'll take some of those.
Actually, if I could put some chafing dishes on my dashboard, like right under the windshield, I could just eat it like buffet style the entire time.
Yeah, like a baked potato bar as you're driving down the street.
That would be great.
Yeah. Forget that Big E baked potato. You could do it all yourself. You're just driving it. You get one of them those three crock pot burner things, small ones. You put the nacho cheese in one, you put the bacon in the other, and what else could you? Chives.
That's good,
too. You can
too.
put all kinds of good stuff in
There's that. Also, an ice cream bar be pretty good, too. You could put your hot fudge, your whipped cream, the cherries on top, maybe some nuts.
And then, listen, last week it was the last weekend for the maple syrup houses to be open. I like to take my food to go. Big stack of pancakes while I'm driving down the street.
You know, sometimes when I'm driving, I'll call up Uber Eats and see if we can meet up somewhere for a pizza.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a full rotisserie chicken?
Sometimes, yeah. I like to rip into those, too.
$5?
Yes.
One time I ate shrimp cocktail while I was driving. But it was served by somebody else.
Yeah,
somebody else was holding the tray. I was taking the shrimp and dipping it into the cocktail sauce and then eating it. And then,
I don't like doing that when I'm driving alone. That or like a platter of oysters.
What about ramen noodles? You like ramen noodles?
Now, wait a minute. That can be very distracting.
Do you think so? The ramen?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Well, you never know.
Well, you got to break up the noodles. You got to put that little flavor pouch in there, and you got to mix it up and wait for 3 minutes. Sometimes I don't have that kind of time when I drive.
My favorite snack of all time are crab legs. When you got to take the little fork and you stick all the meat out of there and you're sucking them, and even crawfish are good to eat. You just bite them up. You toss the heads out the window.
See, I'm not a big fan of crab, but I do love a good lobster. You dip it in the drawn butter and or some steamers right there in the car.
Hey, you ever have one of them big giant pretzels from the Student Prince? The thing that's the size of your head.
Yeah,
you get that mustard sauce.
It's on a hook. The beer cheese and the mustard sauce.
Well, most people have cup holders in their car. I have that giant pretzel hook that's hanging down from the van.
Yeah, for whatever reason, people don't seem to be. I don't know. Haven't seemed to embrace. Driving and dips at the same time.
What about like a chocolate fondant or a lava cake?
Fondue.
Yeah.
How about a good fondue in the car?
A good fondue, a fondue fountain on your dashboard, like a mini fondue fountain. You don't have to have it that big.
Melted cheese. It could be hot oil for meat. It could be all those kinds of things.
And listen, you take those church keys and you open up one of them big cans of nacho cheese that you get from Costco, and you just every once in a while you just pour it back into the heater so it warms up a little bit. I think we're on it. What about a shrimp boil? You ever have a shrimp boil? Who doesn't like a good shrimp boil while they're on a road trip? Yeah, give me that. Cheese? Give me that cheesecloth bag with all those clams and mussels and shrimp and calamari inside it.
See, I don't like them unless you peel your own shrimp. I mean, I like to get into the shells and rip it. Go right into it that way.
Yeah.
Shrimp boil is great, but I want the shell still on. More flavor that way.
What like a beef Wellington? A beef Wellington would good. Hot pot. You ever have a hot pot while you're driving?
Wouldn't that be great?
You stick the little, it's already boiling, hot broth,
and you keep adding stuff to it. It's delicious.
Pork and vegetables, and you just a Caesar salad with lots of anchovies on it.
I remember going on a road trip many, many years ago where we had tomahawk steaks.
Oh, yeah. While you're driving. While you were driving. I like that.
Not distracting at all. You just hold onto the bone and you're just going to gnaw on it for hours.
But that's the thing. I mean, at least that comes with its own holder. What about like a flambe?
Flambe would be good, yeah.
Saucy meatballs. Swedish meatballs.
Oh.
Which, by the way, you need to drive to get to the Swedish Meatballs tonight at the Shortstop. $20 dinner and a comedy show. You see how life comes full circle?
It really does.
Yeah, and maybe we can do a full English breakfast with Bangers and Nash. I'm glad we got through this. You're a Pioneer Valley forecast today. Follow us for more tricks and tips. It's going to be rainy with a high of 40. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Yeah.
EV Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:48 to Rock 102.
Well, considering it's distracted driving month, you shouldn't play basketball while you're driving.
Well, why not? It's a great time to take some shots.
Are you sure about that?
Great event coming to the Big E in June 19th to the 21st. It's Hooplandia. To talk about it, General Manager Drew Dawson is in the studio. Good to see you.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. Good morning, guys. And I was saying, you listened to you guys on the way up about April being Driving Awareness Month. I was appreciating that in real time as I was zigzagging up Route 91. So that was news to me, but very fitting and probably should be done, all months of the year. So.
Well, I mean, chopsticks was just brought up, and I think what a great way to eat a meal and drive at the same. There's absolutely nothing distracting about that at all.
Yeah, well, I would say I've never tried it, but I will tell you as a former college coach and have gone from one event to another over my career, my basketball career, I will say I've had a basketball in one hand, I've been driving in another and driving with the other and trying to make a recruiting call at the same time. So I don't know if that matches chopsticks.
No, there's absolutely nothing. I mean, you can easily negotiate an NIL contract in a car, I would think. I don't see anything problematic about that at all.
Well, yes. Well, I'll tell you, I haven't done that yet, but we'll see if that's in our future.
Tell us what Hooplandia is all about for the people who've never heard of it before, because there are people out there that don't know what we're doing.
And again, I appreciate you guys bringing me on today. We're obviously over the moon about clearly March Madness is everything basketball, and we're just over the moon about Hooplandia. It's the Northeast's largest and ultimate FIBA 3x3 3-on-3 basketball tournament and festival. One of the things I'd like to say is that FIBA 3x3, which is an offshoot of 5-on-5. It's an urban street game that we've all played, competitively, recreationally, over the years, is now in the Olympics. So there's a lot of it'll be in the Olympics for the third time in 28 in LA.
Oh, very
so
cool.
There's a lot of excitement around 3-on-3 basketball as a standardized, legitimate alternative sport. We talk about experimental sports. So with that being said, there's a lot of momentum. It's basketball. It's something that we're passionate about, obviously, with the birthplace being here in Springfield. But we're building out the largest, 3-on-3 tournament and festival right here, on the Eastern States Fairgrounds.
So just out of curiosity, how many teams are you expecting to participate this year?
Well, it's already a dynamic event. We're really trying to add jet fuel to what's already a dynamic event here up and down the Northeast. We had over 315 teams, so that's a couple thousand players, over 70 courts. There's brackets for all ages and abilities, just in light of what I said about, it growing in popularity as a legitimate pathway for players, 3x3 and being in the Olympics. We're incorporating a Pro-Am, which is tapped right into the Olympic system and the international portal if you want to actually pursue it at the highest levels of the game. My background's a former college coach, as we were joking about the chopsticks and NIL negotiations. So it's really neat to see that, it's not going to take over 5v5 as it shouldn't, but it's really growing in popularity along with these experimental sports that you're seeing pop up and grow as, again, like a true alternative pathway for guys that are passionate about the game. And you can actually do this now as a pro and make money doing it. The World Tour, the FIBA World Tour, the 3x3 circuit around the world is millions of dollars. So yes, it's not the level of the NBA, et cetera, but if you're into basketball and you're passionate about the game and you want to pursue it at the higher levels, you can actually tap into the infrastructure, similarly what we're doing at Hooplandia with our Pro-Am, and you can pursue this at the highest levels of the game and actually, the cash prizes and the winnings that come with it.
I mean, you said it yourself. This is like a really fast-growing, event. Not just Hooplandia, but just the sport itself is really growing very, very quickly. But the great part about this is, I mean, a guy like me is not. You may find this hard to believe. I'm not exactly athletically inclined. I know, it shocks a lot of people, but it's true. But yet, I love playing basketball like anybody else. I mean, I may be throwing bricks all day long, but nevertheless, it's still fun. People with my skill level and perhaps my geometric shape could also participate in this and be a part of a great event.
Sure. Well, I can relate to you because although I played Division I feel very fortunate in my playing career. I'm much better now down screens and ball reversals.
Oh,
yeah. So I can relate to you in my mid-40s. But that's the neat thing about it is that anybody can play.
Yeah.
It's in fact the whole motto, the mantra is from the streets to the Olympics. You can actually, if you tap into the right events around the world, right? And obviously Hooplandia, we're trying to spearhead this type of pro-am bracket and circuit here in the States, specifically in the Northeast. But you can actually qualify yourself and your team into the international levels of competition and ultimately the Olympics. Now, that's a long way, and you'd have to have some luck, and I guess your physique would have to probably look the part, right? And not shoot.
Well, I gotta wear shorts. And a tank top, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to show off these guns every now and then, too.
Yeah.
I mean, to intimidate everybody on the court.
Really bring them out.
I got done in 2003, and when I played, it was like, I'm 5'10". It was like I was wearing capris, with those long shorts. So I tell the kids these days they got to wear the right way with the 7-inch inseam, I guess, the shorts that they wear. So they should stay with that style, at least if you're a point guard. But yeah, to your point, anybody, and Hooplandia is a great example of that. We've mentioned the Pro-Am the last couple minutes, but this is a very inclusive event where anybody that's passionate about basketball, there's a bracket for you, all ages, all of abilities, and we have cash prizes for not just the Pro-Am, which is a pretty big purse, because again, it's plugged into the FIBA system, but we have cash prizes across a number of brackets. We have prizes in general for all age brackets, and then we're adding that festival feel. We have the music, we have the food, we have the entertainment. So yes, it's basketball. That's the portal in as one of the fastest growing alternative sports globally. But then you're looking at something for everybody. Like, come out even if you don't want to play, if you do think you're too washed up or what have you, grab some food, listen to the DJs all day. We're going to have a muralist who's coming back to do a 250 anniversary celebration in terms of canvas art. We have customized sneakers and different things that we do with our apparel to kind of touch a lot of different things. So one of the things I'd like to stress is, I'm a former college basketball coach. I love the game. I played it growing up. I've been very fortunate at the levels I've played. But for me, one of the things that I love about this point in my career specifically, but Hooplandia in general, is we're using this as a platform. It's Springfield. It's where the game was invented. But we're using 3x3 to build out a large community engaging event that takes on that festival feel.
According to your website, I think it's put best, a celebration of community unity is how you put it on the mission statement there.
Yeah, and whatever you say about the rhyming and everything else, but that's really what it is. We're trying to, listen, you guys know, music, artists, athletes, we have a lot more in common than we even think. We sort of live on that fringe. We love the craft. We love the connectivity of what we do. I was listening to you guys on the way up. I'm a transplant, so I look forward to getting to know you even more. But obviously, I realize the reputation you guys have, but it's just very obvious the chemistry you guys have.
What did you hear about us?
Well, I did hear that we had the same hairline, and that is true. As I walk in the studio, we do have the same hairline.
I hear that.
You're 1 for 1 on that one.
Yeah, but that's why we wanted to get out and say, listen, it's madness with basketball. It's March Madness. Get into madness with Hooplandia. Get into the madness with what this festival is.
Yeah.
Today is one day only. So here's my pitch. One day only. Madness 30. Madness 30 is the promo code at hooplandia.com, and you can get 30% off any team. And that will end tonight at 11:59. And I just appreciate the opportunity to come in here and pitch that. And I just think it's a great event for Springfield, the greater Springfield area, and really up and down the Northeast. Yeah. To make it here June 19th and jump in.
Hooplandia has been involved in some of the other things we do, some of our bracket competition, and we appreciate your sponsorship of that. But this is a great event that everyone should get out there and enjoy, because there's plenty of things to do, and these are fun games to watch.
It's we're and the timing. If I can just just jump on that. we're at a really interesting time, in sports, because you're seeing, just with all the streaming services and just the access an opportunity to watch sports and be entertained by it.
Yeah.
And there's really these verticals for new sports to really grow. I mean, obviously pickleball is an 800-pound gorilla, but you're seeing a lot of different, drone racing and different, all these different types of sports. Esports is obviously another elephant in the room, but it's a really neat time to see, what is sort of the beach volleyball to volleyball, like 3x3. Again, it's to complement 5-on-5,
Right.
but it's a very neat game to get involved with because it's more touches, more quality participation. And again, we're really trying to lean into that with our Hooplandia event.
You want to find out more information about Hooplandia, go to hooplandia.com. All the information about how to participate and all the schedules are up on the website. Drew Dawson, great to see you. We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's 8:59 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rock 102.